Hey everyone, this is our lesson 9 on inverse relations and functions. So first of all, what is an inverse? Now you might recall this word from some things that we did that you have learned in the past, especially with trigonometry. An inverse, just in general, it undoes something. So for example, the inverse of plus or más is menos. The inverse of multiplication is division. The inverse of square root is, if we have an x in here, is squaring something. So whenever we solve equations, for example, if I have 4x minus 2 equals 10. To be able to solve this equation, I just do a series of inverse operations. So I would move the 2 over. Because it's a minus 2, I would take the inverse, do the positive version. And then to isolate the x, I would do the opposite of multiplication. I would divide. Right? So solving equation is just doing basic inverse operations. If you'll recall from trigonometry, we also did inverses. Whenever we had, for example, the sine of x equals 30. To be able to isolate our angle, x, what we had to do was take the inverse and the normal function would cancel each other, and we would be left with inverse here to be able to find the angle. So an inverse is something that undoes something else. You can think of it as like you tie a knot and then you untie the knot. And we're going to look at inverse relations today and inverse functions. And hopefully the trig stuff that has been done previously will make even more sense. Okay, so we're going to look at inverse relations. What is the inverse of a relation? Our formal definition here. It is a relation that reverses, you can think of reverses or undoes another relation. Now there's a special notation that we use whenever we're talking about inverses. The inverse of a relation R, so if R is the name of the relation that I'm talking about, the inverse would be written as R with a minus 1 in the exponent. Now that just doesn't mean R to the negative 1 power. What this means, this notation means inverse, the inverse of R. Okay? So let's look at an example here. It says, give the inverse of the relation R below. So we have a set of points here. We have a set of points, that's R. And the inverse of this relation is just going to be switching the x and the y values. So my inverse relation is going to be, instead of 0, -7, I'm going to switch the x and y, and it's going to be -7, 0. -1, 2, switch the x and y, is going to be 2, -1. -4, -2, switch the x and y, -2, -4. 6, 3, switch the x and y, whoops, and I'm going to get 3, 6. So if you're given ordered pairs like this, all you have to do is switch the x and the y values. All right, one-to-one functions. So we consider a function one-to-one if the relation and its inverses are functions. So if the original relation is a function and its inverse is a function, we call them one-to-one functions. So we can test this by using the horizontal line test. First, recall the vertical line test is used to determine whether a relation is a function given a graph. And that's what we did in one of the first lessons in this unit. We used the vertical line test to see if the graph represented a function or not. Now we're going to use the horizontal line test to determine whether the inverse of a relation is a function. So in order to be a one-to-one function, both the relation and its inverse must be a function. All right, and we use the horizontal line test to do that. So if you're looking at a graph, it's pretty easy to do. So we're going to check that out. Okay, so let's look at some of these examples. Our directions here. It says determine whether the relations are one-to-one functions. Okay, so to be a one-to-one function, we have to pass the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. So for example, on number 1, if I draw a vertical line anywhere on this graph, I'm only going to touch one time. And that means that this relation is a function, right? That's the vertical line test. You use the vertical line test to see if a relation represents a function. So this one does. Now let's see if it represents a one-to-one function. So now I'm going to use the horizontal line test. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line anywhere on this graph. If I draw a horizontal line, I'm only going to touch one time. So it passes the horizontal line test. That means the inverse of this relation is also a function. And that means that yes, this graph represents a one-to-one function. All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2, I'm going to start with the vertical line test. Okay, it looks like anywhere I touch this graph, if I draw a vertical line, I'm only going to touch one time. That means that this relation represents a function. Whoops. Now let's test. Do the horizontal line test. Whoa, if I draw a horizontal line, I'm going to touch many times, infinitely many times. That means the inverse of this relation is not a function. So no, this one is not one-to-one. Now, I do want to point out something here. You might notice that this looks like a sinusoidal function. So it looks like it's a sine or cosine graph here. And if you'll recall, whenever we wanted to, we took inverses of these functions, and you might be thinking, well, if this function isn't one-to-one, how were we able to take the inverse? But if you'll recall, we were able to take the inverse because we restricted the domain for these trig functions, right? We would restrict the domain, and we would say, okay, within this domain, well, not this domain, more like this domain, or in some domain, depending if it was sine or cosine, then it does pass the horizontal line test. So it would have an inverse. But if we do not restrict the domain, like in this case, we're talking about the entire graph, the entire function, then it does not have an inverse. So sometimes a function does not have an inverse unless you restrict the domain, and that's what we did with the trig functions. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3, if I do the horizontal line test, or the vertical line test, sorry, it looks like it passes. It looks like this is a rational function, and I have an asymptote here and here. So even if I draw a line here, it's not going to touch more than one time. Okay, so this is a function because it passes the vertical line test. Now let's test the horizontal line test. Okay, if I draw a horizontal line anywhere on this graph, looks like it's also only going to touch one time. So yes, this one is one-to-one. Okay, number 4 is a bit misleading. I don't really want to do that one. Let's look at number 5. So let's draw our vertical line. Yep, it looks like anywhere you draw a vertical line, this is going to only touch one time. So this is a function. Now let's try the horizontal line test. All right, if I draw a horizontal line, I'm gonna touch like at every single place. So this definitely does not pass the horizontal line test. So this one is not one-to-one. Okay, and finally, number 6. So on number 6, let's do the vertical line test. Oh, this does not pass the vertical line test, which means that this relation does not represent a function. However, if I do the horizontal line test, it does pass. So what does this mean? It means the original relation is not a function, but its inverse is a function. But regardless, it's not one-to-one. Not one-to-one. So, in recap, we can determine if a graph, if a relation represent one-to-one functions, if they pass the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. The vertical line test tells us if the relation is a function. The horizontal line test tells us if the inverse is a function. And if they are both functions, then it's one-to-one.